Alright, so today we starting differently. Um, Hold on a minute. Actually, let's get our shit set up for a second. Check. Alright, yeah. So today we starting differently. Um, really, while I was coming on here, well, because I've been away for a while, but really, while I was coming on here, it's just being drawn or called to talk about things that have been going on lately. Not in the world and all that shit. I'm talking about individual worlds. You can help, you know, you can help improve the world once you do the inner work with yourself. So I'm not talking about external things for the most part. Now I am talking about external things in the way that we internalize them, but I'm not talking about external things like, what the different politics and things that they have going on. We're not talking about external worlds in that regard today, unless that is just really, really, really weighing heavily on your soul. Then, I mean, that is something we can, or that's something that today's conversation will help you navigate, hopefully. But in any case, um, I came on here because, I have my own stuff that I've been dealing with. So I was going to get into that a little bit, but right before the live, I see that one of my uh, favorite readers, they had posted a video. And I didn't even fully read the title. I just saw like part of it, and I was like, I opened it in a new tab. And I was gonna watch this and then come live or just watch it, whatever. I was watching another show. I was watching a TV show, but I was gonna get to this video. And anyway, something told me to like watch the video with y'all. So I'm gonna watch. We're gonna watch this video from a different reader, not myself. I'm gonna read later, but we're gonna watch a video from a different reader. It's about 20 minutes long or so. And because I think that there's a message and something is just telling me to watch it with y'all. So I'm going to watch it with you. Um, Beyond that, this is not a video about the basics of the root chakra and all of that. Like, if you're watching my channel, hopefully you are well versed or somewhat versed in a chakra. You've heard of it before. If you haven't, I mean, we kind of touch on what it is and things like that. But this is not like one of those kind of new age foo-foo videos type thing. This is more of like, this is real life. This is how it's impacting you. This is how your trauma is blocking you. This is how your trauma is directly hindering your prosperity. It's hindering your abundance. It's hindering, these other things in life about being emotionally available and being open and different things like that. So, this is not like a structured lecture or none shit like that either. So I'm not gonna like sit here and take notes and da da da. Like y'all know me. Like I usually just go off the top of the dome and say what needs to be said. Whatever comes out comes out. I did. This setup is a little bit more intimate. It's a little bit more intimate. Usually, a little bit further back. Um, and the camera's actually quite far from me, but camera lens, the type of lens that is on it is it's a more intimate type of feel. So definitely getting into vulnerability and different things like that. So I don't know if it makes you uncomfortable to make eye contact, then you can put the phone or the screen down. Walk away from the laptop, just turn the volume up, the iPad, whatever you have. Um, so yeah, so we starting differently. We gonna watch that video now. Oh shit, I'm gonna have to change this autofocus maybe. Ah, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Anyways, I'll try to keep an eye on that. I like being in the dark, but because of the camera, I gotta have on lights, so it's like the lights are out here. And, anyways, whatever. That's camera speak. Don't worry about it. Yeah. So let's get into this. Um, Toast to y'all, root chakra. We drinking some red wine. You know what I'm saying? Tap in. Tap in. Tap in. I pulled these two decks today. one very intuitively, one I kind of looked in its direction. I wasn't sure about it, but when I saw the first deck that I picked up, I said, all right, obviously we talking about the unconscious mind or the subconscious mind. We're talking about the part of your brain. I mean, it's 97% of your brain. It controls your waking dreams and your sleeping dreams. I know y'all probably tired of hearing me say that if you've watched my videos quite a few times, but I feel like I have more new people that come than subscribers and things. So that's just because I'm inconsistent. But either way, yeah, your subconscious mind controls, like your nerves and your cells and your breathing and everything right now that you're not even thinking about while you're listening. But it also controls your sleeping dreams, like when you're in bed at night. And why I bring it up too, especially when we're talking about this trauma piece, is that it doesn't know fact from fiction. So your subconscious mind learns through trauma, learns through repetition, and learns through symbols. So symbols, trauma, and repetition. And so there's things like trauma literally changes your brain. Not just in the neuroplasticity sense, but like they've done scans. I was just reading a book yesterday. This one right here. Right? And this is a very, very triggering book. Very triggering book. You can only read it so much at a time. One therapist told me to get it, then the other one said, "Oh, that's really for like, people in the field," because it is a very heavy read. It can be very heavy at times. They wrote it maybe for a more clinical setting, but as someone who's gone through an immense amount of trauma and pain, it's helpful, but it's also triggering. But I say all that to say, yesterday I flipped to a random page. Something was telling me to pick up the book, and it was talking about how people with trauma, they're not in tune with themselves. Like literally, they've done brain scans, and the part of the brain, like the middle of the brain where it's responsible for your self-awareness, that was not firing normally for the people that had been through trauma. In some cases, it wasn't firing at all. So those of us who have been through immense amounts of trauma, we are actually literally disconnected from ourselves. Like brain scans have picked this up. But then if we go back to ancient texts, you can see that the root chakra is associated with stability and feeling safe. And it's also when you're in these bouts of depression and different things, you're disconnected from the root chakra. You have no sense of groundedness. You have no sense of self. You are disconnected from self in this human 3D form. Now, sometimes there's a time and a place to be in the 5D or be in the 7D with your crown chakra and different things. But if you don't have the foundation, you don't have the very first energy center firing, then it's very difficult for you to then try to be in higher planes and bring in the things like the financial stability and different things that you need into your life. So, like I said, I mean, we can get deeper into all of that, but yeah, it's just important to note, today I turned on the red lights. I didn't even plan to have red lights on. It kind of looked pink in the video, but red shorts on, everything. So definitely it's calling for me to rebalance the center. I know that I'm out of alignment with this center currently. Personally, last month I lost 2 aunts 2 days apart from each other. So I had 2 funerals to go to at the end of the month. So a couple of weeks ago, I had 2 different funerals within a week. You know what I'm saying? And then being at one of the funerals triggered something because a situation I had with somebody in childhood, their mother was there. So then that brought up a bunch of stuff that I had repressed when it comes to the situation with me and that person. So yeah, got a lot going on. So in any case, this video popped up. She usually pops up right when I need it, and she's usually fucking spot on. So I haven't even watched it at all. Well, actually, for 2 minutes, I think the first 2 minutes I think were playing while I was setting up, but I haven't watched this at all for the most part. Like, I mean, literally, the 18 other minutes that's in the video. I don't really know what it's about, where she's going with it yet, but I think it'd be helpful for all of us to watch. And then these are the decks. That was the whole point of the other tangent, was um, dreams have to do with the subconscious or unconscious mind. So, actually, matter of factly, when my trigger came up, when my 22-year-old trauma came to surface, right? It's something I had thought about here and there over the years, but when it really, like, it's been really, 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 like, out in the open, I'm writing about it, everything. When that popped up this week or last week, it came from me interpreting a dream. So there's some people that try to dismiss dream interpretation, but dream interpretation is literally your subconscious mind talking to you. It's telling you, pay attention to this. And some people say, oh, I don't dream. That's not true. The average human dreams 27 times a night. You might not remember it, but you do dream. So there are ways you can go about remembering it. Dream journaling, or keeping a recorder by your bed, or you can start getting into the lucid dreaming and the astral projection and different things where you're actually cognizant of what's happening in the dream, as if you were actually there acting it out, as if it were waking life, right? So yeah, definitely pay attention to your dreams, especially like the heavy ones that kind of stick with you. Like 6 months from now, I can still remember that fucking dream. There's dreams that I remember from 2-3 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever. And they're not always reoccurring. I'm not talking about that reoccurring dream you always have, which it's definitely something to pay attention to. But just in general, just like one quote unquote random dream that stuck with me. So I have many of those like that. So the point is, sometimes it's not going to be as blatant as somebody saying something or triggering you. Sometimes it's not going to be as blatant as like just being on your mind. Where it's one thing, like, you have a trauma, you kind of repress it, you kind of ignore it. It's another when you repress it so much that you're hiding it from yourself, right? So this is where you get the whole shadow work aspect as well. Is judging yourself or being ashamed. So that's another video though, because a lot of people, they misinterpret the shadow and they feel like it's this like dark evil thing that they're afraid to face, or that that they can never transcend. You can transcend your shadow. You absolutely can, because it comes from judgment and shame, right? So if you're not judging yourself for that thing, whatever that thing is that you dislike or hate about yourself, you acknowledge it. I'm not saying you got to get caught up in it or act a certain way. Like, if you say you hate being an asshole to people, you like to be nice to people, but you have that asshole side, don't sit there and try to judge that side or dismiss that side. That side has a place and a purpose as well. It's a defense mechanism as well. Sometimes you have to be an asshole for people to listen to you. Absolutely you do. Sometimes that's just necessary. It could be something as simple as you calling a call center, or having an issue with something, a product that you purchased, type of thing. And I'm not saying go in and just automatically be rude to the people, sometimes you could get further with an apple than a stick, is what they say. But there are times when you're gonna have to be that kind of more aggressive or assertive side of yourself. And if you try to repress that or suppress that, not repress, but suppress that side of you, that's when these shadows overtake your life or come and trigger you years down the line, type of thing. So you can absolutely acknowledge a side of yourself and embrace a side of yourself without it becoming like this scary, deep, dark shadow figure that you don't know, type of thing. Because that's really how people talk about their shadow. Like they talk about it like it's not them. You know what I mean? Like, they talk about it like it's some completely separate shit, or some like evil dark entity just swimming around in their mind type of shit. That's not how it works, bro. That's not it. That's not it. So, in any case, and I'm not telling nobody what their shadow specifically is like, but what I'm saying is, it's not a thing inside of you to fear or to run away from. Now, it could be painful, which is like humans usually typically want to, you know, they're adverse to pain for the most part. You have people that have high pain tolerances, whatever, but most humans, we're instinctually wired, biologically wired to prevent danger or to stay away from danger. So there are times where it's going to be painful, and emotional pain, which again is in this book as well. Emotional pain has been shown to be just as severe and damaging as physical pain when it comes to the brain. Literally, like, the brain takes that as if it is being attacked physically. So don't get into these modes of like ignoring your true pain or ignoring your pain because, oh, you're so soft, or oh, you're too sensitive, or other people trying to tell you what's right for you type of shit. All right. There's literal studies on this, because I know some of y'all need Western medicine to prove everything for you, as if the ancients didn't fucking leave the fucking cheat code, as if Western medicine is not trying to emulate nature, right? So some of y'all need the Western side. So if you go look at Western medicine, you can go and look at literal brain scans and different things, whether it be in neuroscience, whether it be in biology, the chemistry, the makeup, the different things. As far as, like I said, we talked about neuroplasticity, or I kind of touched on neuroplasticity a little bit earlier, and I have multiple times on my channel as well. When it comes to quantum physics, they'll try to say, oh, that's pseudoscience, but now lately they're actually taking it seriously. So these different things, right? Yeah. So basically what I'm saying is you can go do your own research if you don't want to take my word for it. But I read the shit, so I'm telling you the shit. So this is the first deck, right? Dreams of Gaia. That means dreams of Earth, matter of fact. So that's another important thing here. When we're talking about being grounded, we're talking about connecting to the earth, we're talking about the root chakra is literally being rooted, having roots, okay? When you talk about stability and security, we're talking about having roots in the ground. When you're being unrooted, you feel anxiety, you feel fear, because you're not rooted in anything, okay? And these types of things block your prosperity. That's one of the consequences of having the root chakra blocked. So now, this is the next deck. Now, this is typically one of my favorites, or my favorite. They all give me good info, but like, I don't know, I've just always been really big on this deck. It's not showing it. Oh, there we go. So the two of these, we definitely have something going on. Definitely have something going on here with the unconscious mind. Which, again, I say unconscious because I'm a Carl Jung guy, but you could say subconscious. Some people use subconscious, unconscious interchangeably. I used to, but the reason why I'm stressing these decks so much, just the titles of them, is because when you talk about the moon has to do with the unconscious mind. The moon has to do with mysteries. The moon has to do with hidden things. Okay? Your dreams are full of things that are like symbols and hidden meanings. Okay? Your dreams indicate a lot to you, but you have to pay attention. The moon does a lot for the earth, but you have to pay attention. It's not just some pretty thing in the sky. All right? Literally, it reflects back the sun. The moon does not actually illuminate itself. It's a reflection of what is shining at it, which is most of our life. You're a reflection of what you take into your subconscious mind. You know, we talked about, well, previously, but there was a man, now I'll never forget when he said this, about your diet is not just what you eat, it's what you watch, it's what you read, it's what you listen to. So when you talk about those things, that's who completes you as a person. That's what trains your subconscious mind. So training your subconscious mind creates who you are. So yeah, you got that aspect of it. You have, like I said, the dream aspect, the hidden meaning aspect, the unconscious mind, which holds a lot of this trauma. The unconscious mind teaches you, you know, your ideologies of self-worth and value lie within your unconscious mind, depending on who raised you or the things that were around you, or if you were taught to have a scarcity and a lack mindset, which most of us I think were. But if you have a scarcity and a lack mindset, it can take a lot to overcome that. And this is the work that has to be done in order to get there. So in any case, see, I said we are gonna start with her, but I've been talking for 21 minutes, so I'm gonna let her talk for 21 minutes, and I'm gonna come back and we're gonna do this reading. So yeah, let's switch this here. All right. Boom. Oops. I almost exited out the live, bro. I almost exited out this motherfucker. Let's go, baby.
Ones, welcome into my initiates, the ones who can use tarot to truly create their own reality. I hope you're doing really well. I'm just going to dive in today and we're going to do a tree of life and see what comes out. So thank you all so much for your support, your donations, your beautiful comments, sending you big squeezies, and to the beta males watching, mwah, I know, you need the love, I know, but no one wants to give it to you. So you bully women instead. So just a heads up to you, if you come onto my timeline and you say shit to me, you're not hidden away. You're not hidden away behind your computer. God's watching. I don't think you quite get it, but whatever. Okay, let's zone in. Archangel Michael, thank you for being here to protect my cherubima and this reading. What do we need? Okay, first card out, we've got the Eight of Swords in the area of Venus. So that would be your love, your devotion, your conscious space when it comes to all those things that get your heart tickled, right? And get your heart lit up. So seeing the Eight of Swords here, it kind of means to me that...
Wait, go back now? Sorry.
In the area of Venus, so that would be your love, your devotion, your conscious space when it comes to all those things that get your heart tickled, right? And get your heart lit up. So seeing the Eight of Swords here, it kind of means to me that things might not be going how you want them to go, but this to me is a mind space that maybe you're a little bit stuck in regarding something. We'll look into this. They're really pulling me to the water though, at her feet, and I feel like there are a lot of things available to you for you to dip your toe into at the moment when it comes to things that will uplift you and invigorate you in the energy of love. It might not be romance, it might not be people, but I feel like your soul is calling for you to find new things to love. But we'll look into this. Let me pull the other cards and we'll see what's going on. Okay, show me. Yeah, Two of Swords in the area of the Malkuth, which is your flesh, your vessel, the position you're in right now. So with the Two of Swords, this would be clearly maybe you feeling like you don't have all the information. I'm hearing this energy of time's running out, so maybe you're going to put your foot down on someone if they don't apologize to you, or maybe approach you in the right way. And we've got the Ten of Cups here. So you're working towards your long-term vision, because this is in the space of Mercury. This is something that you're holding on to. And it kind of feels like over here, there's something maybe that you're not quite sure if it's over or not. You're not quite sure, right? And I feel like that could be giving you this feeling of stagnation, or maybe waiting on a response or waiting on an answer for something. Okay, show me.
Yeah.
Queen of Wands in the moon space. So this is gorgeous to me, because this is telling me that you really know what you deserve with the Ten of Cups and the Queen of Wands. This is you sending out that signal and visualizing the type of long-term situation you really want to be in. And the Ten of Cups is about multiple devoted people creating a beautiful network where they can all uplift each other and bring out the best in each other. And I really feel like this over here with the Eight of Swords and the Two of Swords, it'll be different for everyone. But this is kind of like a mind space that I feel like I feel like you're so good at manifesting here with the Queen of Wands. I feel like you know that. And maybe that's caused a little bit of a hiccup in your mind, because it's like, well, you've done everything right and you know you've done everything right. But I'm getting divine timing here. There's something in the 3D that needs to catch up with who you actually are, because the Queen of Wands, she knows she can be, do, and have anything she wants. She knows she's hot and feisty and fiery. She knows she's got the divine fire emanating up through the root, they're telling me with this one. So you've got probably powerful erotic or sexual energy, which is where all life comes from, right? The ones with the powerful sexual energy are the ones with the most potential to be the most powerful creators. So it's funny that that's coming up with the root chakra here. All right, so I read tarot for adults, and what they're telling me here is that maybe you've been not dating for a while, and maybe there's something, the energies of your root chakra are rising up into your consciousness and giving you misplaced anxiety, when really it could be natural primal frustration, sexual frustration, something like that. Because you're doing it all right here. This is looking pristine, but it's just the mind. I feel like there's something you really want, and your mind is bugging you like, where is it? Where is it? Come on, where is it? And I always say about that reptilian mind, it's the bouncer on the door. The reptilian mind is like, the goon that tries to protect us. The reptilian mind is the mind that always gets triggered first whenever we're in a new situation. So maybe you're in a new situation with your manifestation, and I feel like that's what it is. It's your reptilian mind trying to protect you, giving you these thoughts that seem completely imbalanced compared to what you're actually radiating and emanating. And what the universe is actually responding to here is your confidence. It's your golden crown. It's your long-term vision. But I feel like there could be a bit of frustration, physical frustration, that's affecting your thoughts at the moment. And that could be because you're doing the Queen of Wands thing. You've got your boundaries up, right? You've got those sovereign royal boundaries. Let's see what's going on with Jupiter. 3 of Swords here, okay. But I'm really getting some misplaced worries here. Or maybe this is residual energy from a previous situation. Because it almost feels to me like you feel like Jupiter's not blessing you with stuff. But I feel like Jupiter has blessed you with a lot of things. I feel like there's one thing on your mind that is kind of maybe taking over and making you feel like you haven't achieved this beautiful status when you have. Yeah, with the World card coming out next to the 3 of Swords, they're showing me a sweeping brush, but they're showing me the sweeping brush that my beautiful great-grandma used to use with the long handle. They're kind of saying don't go down to the floor with here, because in England we've got dustpan and brushes that you would actually have to hold onto the floor. Then we've got the ones with the long stick where you can, the long stick brush and the long stick thing. And they're kind of telling you to keep your distance with some memories here, because you're too blessed, you're too beautiful. And I'm getting that you're too ferocious in your self-worth and how much you love yourself for whatever this is, circling back around from the past, to be clouding up your vision and taking over your mind. I'm getting that there could be someone from the past thinking about you who has absolutely no right to be thinking about you. And maybe that's what you're picking up on the airwaves. All right, so they want you to keep your distance from this and find ways to poke into new things you love. They're saying treat yourself. They're showing me beautiful gastro meals, like the sort of meals that, the chefs, how passionate they get about these delicate little meals. They're kind of showing me that with you, like, it's time for you to treat yourself in some beautiful way. Expand those taste buds is what they're telling me. Do something you've always wanted to do. This could be to do with travel or just simply broadening your horizons. The subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between something that is vividly imagined and something that we are actually doing. So they could be saying, this is a mind space thing where you've got to take over your mind with all the beautiful, fancy, beautiful, gorgeous things. They're giving me that song. These are a few of my favorite things. Do, 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 do. Right? So they're giving me that song for you. It's all about you and your favorite things at the moment, because you're doing real good. Let's have a look what's going on over here with the Mars energy. 3 of Cups. This is what I'm saying. You've got all the drive and you've got all the passion and you've got all the fruition here. But I feel like,
Yo, that song from Sound of Music is what she's referencing, right? Like, Sound of Music been popping up a lot too. So that's a hell of a synchronicity. I don't know who's super into Sound of Music or not. I know I had some family members really into it. and they had shown it on TV, I think a couple weeks ago, or like maybe 3 weeks ago or something like that. So yeah, that might be something for somebody. Sound of Music. I know that's also a big part of my childhood. Just like my mom was really into that movie, and she used to play it a lot. But I guess I didn't really understand what was going on at such a young age. I have like little clips of it in my mind, but yeah. What's the point? She said that, and it was something else she had said too. It was something else. She was like I said already, I didn't watch this far in. I had only watched the first little intro when she was talking about beta males or something like that. So I'm watching this real time with y'all. And yeah, she said the same thing I said about how the subconscious mind can't tell the difference. So that is a clear message that needs to go out to somebody tonight, that you can't tell the difference between your subconscious mind, which controls most of you, cannot tell the difference between what is fact and what is fiction. So it goes off of what you tell it, what you train it. It goes off of the repetition. You understand? Hold up a sec. Getting a little toasty in here. I usually heat up with when we start talking. It's not just because of the wine. I just spirit when it comes in, I usually start to heat up. So, anyways,
giving me a dirt devil, so it would tell me that there was someone pesky in your past who, oh, you know, guys, the way I talk about fairy sprinkles, there are some people, all they do is bring you dust. And that's all they do. Dead skin cells, all the baggage from their previous relationships, all the carnage they carry in their soul hidden away. And I feel like you've picked up on too much of this. You're being celebrated non-physically here. You've got this huge, they're telling me you've got a huge armory of energy celebrating you, because I know here with the Queen of Wands, male or female, you had to pick yourself up and get that fire moving again, when maybe you really didn't feel like it. Maybe you felt like the complete opposite of what people tell you in the spiritual community. You know, when they're all happy and they're like, come on, think a good thought, blah, blah, blah. I feel like you've gone through the opposite of this, where you're like, whoa, you've really seen the abyss. I'm getting that this was like an abyss for you, because you were picking up on someone's murky, dusty spirit, showing me someone's chest cavity as like a dusty cupboard. There's no heart chakra. They weren't switched on. There was no light in there. It was just a dusty old cupboard. They're saying anyone from your past that had a dusty old cupboard for a heart, that they would have collected, you know, people like that. When they find a beautiful Queen of Wands, King of Wands, they're so lucky, because most of the time the only people they can magnetize into their world are other dusty people. And this is why Spirit's giving me this dirt devil for you. You're too good, Queen of Wands. You're too powerful. You're on Team Godhead. And you're radiant. And this is why these dusty energies come around, because you've got the power to create your vision with your triple fold heart. They're telling me with this 3 of Cups, you've got the power of 3 hearts in you to create whatever vision you want. So this is why Spirit's saying keep a long-armed dustpan and brush for whatever memories may be resurfacing, just for you to see them clearly. Because every time these memories resurface, you see yourself a bit more clearly every time. New insight, hindsight, 2020. You're squeaking your mindset up, because I'm hearing polish. You know, like wood polish. I love it. You know, when you polish all the dust up. Yeah, they're giving me loads of cleaning references for you today, darling, because you're royalty. And you need to know, right, that, you know, what goes up must come down. So these down times you've had, yeah, they're not nice, right? But they want you to know that as bad as you feel at the pit, the worst you've ever felt, you can flip that coin, and the worse you feel, the better you can feel. The people who've had the mundane lives with not many ups or downs, it's just medium. It's like, it's steady. They like that. That's up to them. But for you, my darling, being astral royalty, your ups and downs are way more extreme. But they want me to let you know that those people who barely ever feel down, they don't have many ups, you know? But the ones who go really dark into maybe depression or whatever, they're the ones who can have the greatest, biggest, most joyful upswings. And that's what I'm getting here. Look at this balance with the 3.
Yo, and that's very important too. Because when you do go through these dark times and these traumas and things like that, when you go through it, it fucking sucks. Like, let's get that out the way, okay? This is not one of these like toxic positivity, just meditate it away, just do yoga type of things. This is genuine, right? So when you go through these times, it's absolutely terrible. However, there's always some sort of lesson or something you can take along with you. And why I bring that up is because even when it is something, where your boundaries were violated, like with what happened to me, right? Your boundaries were violated on levels that are almost hard to fathom. Even when that happens, I can now go and speak to people, or the real true raw stuff that I wrote down about this experience. I can now go and do like a spoken word and touch lives and help other people. So sometimes it is the worst thing that happened to you is the greatest gift to somebody else. Yo, I'm gonna trademark that. I just said that right now. Came off top of the dome. All right, bars. But honestly, the worst thing that happened to you could be the greatest gift to somebody else, in the way that you can give them that strength that they need to go on another day, just by hearing your story, just by you sharing something, or having that vulnerable moment. Instead of trying to block it out, you actually embrace it to an extent. And I'm not saying embrace it meaning like it's you agree with it. It's like a piece of radical acceptance, which they do in dialectic behavioral therapy, where you can accept something without agreeing with it, right? So just because you accept the way that things are doesn't mean like you agree with the way things are. And you can take that to mean like the government or whoever, like they do certain shit, they hide stuff from citizens. Boom, that's how it is. It doesn't mean you have to agree with it. You could try to fight it, but at the end of the day, that's how it is. They're not going to change their system for you. So that's like a very broad, out there type of example, but you can take it back to your personal life as well. So I would never agree with things that my biological family does. I would never ever fucking agree with, what happened to me at 10 years old or whatever, but I can accept this is what happened, and moving forward, how can I help other people, or what can I do? So right now I'm literally in the process of like trying to transmute all of that, because it is a 22-year-old trauma that I've spoken to literally three people about, and one of them was a therapist that I just told last week. You understand? So it's like I'm in that process now, and you go from, it might be sadness, it might be anger, it might be all these things that people say are negative emotions. Anger is just showing you that something is wrong. That's what anger does. It shows you that something is not right. What that thing is, that's on you to interpret and find out. The worry that you have in waking life is going to pop up in your dreams. We talked about dreams a lot. So interpreting those dreams and seeing like what is truly really on your mind. Going back to the root chakra, what is it that's making you feel rocky? What's making you feel like you don't have a strong foundation? If it is financial, then what is the financial blockage that you have right now? What's the financial blockage? What's stopping you? What is it that is not happening? Is it a mindset? Is it an old belief of, oh, I don't deserve it, or, oh, money's the root of all evil, which is complete bullshit, because rapists and pedophiles will still do what they do. Murderers will still do what they do, whether they had money or not. So it's not money. It's greed and it's power. Though you can say those are the root of all evil. But the point is, if you still have mindsets like that, then it's going to be very, very, very damn near impossible, but very difficult for you to ever get a substantial amount of money where you feel comfortable, because you feel like me having money makes me evil. So you're telling yourself two different things. You're saying, I want this, but then your subconscious mind is saying, but you told me this. And again, for the fourth or fifth time in this live, I said it, she said it. It does not know the difference between fact and fiction. So you can't say you desire this, you want this great relationship, you're tired of being lonely, but then this other part of you feels like you don't deserve it because of something you did 3 relationships ago. It was 3 relationships ago. You understand? Take the lesson, move the fuck on. Take the lesson, move on. try your best not to drag that into your new situation, but to sit here and try to punish yourself and beat yourself up about something that happened 3 or 4 relationships ago, and that's the reason why you can't love now, or the reason why you never had a relationship is because somebody did something to you, 2 decades ago or 3 decades ago or whatever, however long it's been. They did something to you, and now you feel like, oh, well, I can't trust anybody, or oh, I can't open my heart to anybody, or oh, I can't da 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 da. So you putting all these limitations on yourself based upon someone else. Does that sound right to you? It don't sound right to me, but maybe I'm wrong. I'm not wrong, but I'm saying like maybe I'm the one tripping, because when you break it down like that, it is very interesting and crazy how we sit here and allow other people to now have that dominion over our lives. Other people to have this type of power or control or this lingering kind of influence on our lives when they've gone about their business. I doubt that they're thinking about you. You know what I'm saying? And yet you're the one punishing you, or you're the one suffering for you. So every once in a while, like she's talking about, you're going to pick it up in the ethers. You might have somebody, you might cross their mind, or they might think about you, or, either through guilt, or they might feel like, oh, they miss you, or whatever kind of misplaced foolishness. But listen, you didn't appreciate me when I was there, so don't try to appreciate me now. Not now that I came up, now all of a sudden you back. No. That's not how that goes. That's not how that goes. So anyways, let's get back to this. I had to add that.
Three of Cups. The most beautiful, blessed upswing. That's what I'm getting for you. Let's see what's coming out in Neptune. Let's see. 9 of Cups. There we go. So this is, wow. They're showing me a sailor's cap. Like you've gone through some really harsh waters over here, and you've managed to navigate and still maintain and hang on to that golden sense of self. And I said, do you know how rare that is? Do you know how valuable that is when you've been around dusty people who probably did know that they were pouring their crappy garbage from their dustbin soul into your magnetic field? Yeah. Do you know how rare it is and how beautiful it is that you still feel this good and you've got all this magnetic power? 9 of Cups, 10 of Cups. And like I say, this is about your favorite things, right? There are a lot of things that are waiting for you in your vortex, your personal palace. The universe is waiting for you to line up and bring you everything you want here, because it's bulging. This is like a safe that's absolutely bulging here with all the things that you've got waiting for you. This is all the things you've imagined, all the things you've put devotion into. They're lined up waiting, and there are secret gifts. There are more gifts coming for you because you keep lifting yourself up out of despair, I'm getting. Let's see what Pluto's saying. We've got the 2 of Wands with Saturn here.
Right there, I just saw, like, if you help somebody up off the ground, I just saw, like, a hand, but you helping you. You lifting yourself up off the ground.
The whole world in your hands, and then Emperor energy here. Big Daddy Aries, the ruler of all. The Emperor is above any king, any queen, right? So this is you being in your true transformative power. And I feel like this is just a little, they're showing me like a checklist, like writing down all your favorite things, realizing life is here to please you. Life is your artwork. I feel like that's going to help you, because this is showing me that you're going to take back your power, true power. And you can see with the red on the Emperor that, he's got that root chakra energy harnessed to use in the way that would suit him best. So I don't know, we could have with the 3 of Cups in the Mars area, there could be some intimate liaisons for somebody where you will be kind of rechanneling this erotic energy. I feel like it's erotic energy with you. But with this 10 of Swords here, this is what's transforming in your life. That horrible feeling of being at the dead end of things, that horrible feeling of having tied up all the loose ends, and you kind of feel like you're in a no man's land sometimes, don't you? Because I feel like that's what it is. It's like a kind of no man's land that you're transforming your way out of, but you're just getting more and more powerful here with this Emperor energy. Aries twice with the Queen of Wands and the Emperor. So I don't know if this is someone pesky messaging you, putting their energy in your magnetic field, or if this is just emotions that you're cleaning up. But you're doing it really well here. And they just want you to know that that feeling won't last forever, right? Look at this in the heart space, Queen of Cups. Just to confirm that this is about what you're devoted to. This is all about what stirs your heart, the Holy Grail. And with this 10 of Cups, you're going there much quicker than you think. This 10 of Swords energy, it's not going to last very long. Let's see what's coming up here. You're the boss, baby. You're the boss here with this Emperor energy, and you're making big, beautiful plans. I feel like maybe your plans are going to get bigger and grander. I feel like your confidence is getting bigger here. We've got fortitude. Yeah, so they're saying, make it bigger, make it grander, make your needs even more prevalent to you. Because this is all about your world here, and letting your subconscious mind know you're in a new world. You're not putting up with that 10 of Swords. See, this is South Node energy coming back to bite you on the bum, right? It's so easy for us to slip into our South Node energy. But I feel like you're going to put in some mega effort here with the Emperor to really...
South Node is just talking about what you're used to. So North Node is what you came in this world to learn. South Node is basically what you've already mastered. So it don't make sense to roll backwards and try to remaster something you already mastered. Now you can use lessons from it to help you. But yeah, what she's talking about with the South Node is like essentially just using your comfort zone, which ties into the whole, get comfortable or get clear about what you truly desire. Get clear about not just your wants, but your actual needs, your actual desires, which are stronger than just, oh, I want this fleeting type stuff.
Really re-ascertain that it's your ship, it's your life, and you can steer it wherever you want to. Focus pocus, there we go. That one really wanted to be seen here. And what do we have on the bottom? We've got the animal self here. So I feel like you're just kind of realigning some of those beautiful, powerful root chakra energies, Saturn energies. You're planning on where to put this energy next, I feel. So this could include, new social occasions and stuff. I feel like there's a lot of happiness for you to be joining in with. It's kind of like letting yourself go to the party. They're saying let yourself go to the party. And I feel like someone hearing that maybe your moods, and maybe you've been a bit mood swingy, maybe, you felt yourself being a bit aggressive or grumpy. They're saying it's just this pent up energy, right? That I feel like now you've been made consciously aware of it by watching this video. You can use, right? Mars energy. You can use that drive in some big project, Emperor, to get more of your wishes coming to you. They're waiting for you. It's like all of the things we want us. But we've got to go to the party, right? 5 of Pentacles, it's like you're keeping yourself out of your own party that you've created. But again, this is just an 8 of Swords that we've got to kind of work our way out of. This is the work. We don't get into alignment and stay in alignment forever. We have to wake up in the morning, and Saturn gives us a massive, huge dose of energy, right? That we've got to somehow align. And this is every day. We get basically lent energy by the planets, and we've got to decide how we're going to harmonize and alchemize those energies. So you've got the Knight of Swords here, which shows me you're going to be flying out of this spot really beautifully. It could feel to you with the 7 of Wands like there are energies that just maybe won't back off. Maybe you feel like you've had to go into hiding, and I feel like that's what's got to shift with this 10 of Swords being covered up by the Queen of Cups and her magnanimous, psychic, watery power. Goddess energy, water goddesses, Yemaya they want me to mention. And the Empress in general, they want me to mention that fertility, because I feel like the Queen of Cups with the Emperor here tells me you've got all the fertility in yourself that you need. But it could feel like maybe there's an old situation that you still feel defensive about, and Spirit's saying, screw that loser, go straight to the divine. And, turning your focus from what you want to avoid or what you don't want to think about and going forward completely with Emperor-like power is what's going to be the cure here. Let's get an animal spirit card or a couple of animal spirit cards, and we'll see. Because you're getting out of this South Node and busting forward, right? There's someone in your past that would love to think of you on the floor, right? Miserable and stuff. And I feel like that should be your motivation. There's nothing like a good old enemy to make you really flare up. And I feel like maybe that's what you're going to you're going to do. You're going to get yourself out of emotional energies and get fired up with all this beautiful, powerful, God-given, divine, source energy, particularly in the root, right? It's about self-pleasure for you. It's about all the sweet things that you love. We've got the bat energy. So I do feel like you've been maybe guarded, but I feel like, this is funny, I feel like you're going to be taking yourself to a point where you're not hiding so much anymore. Maybe you've been hiding your feelings. I do feel like with the bat that you've been dealing with really powerful emotions regarding something that wasn't even that important to your spiritual journey, but someone wanted to think they were important. We've got the whale energy here, bringing a big motherly arm around you as you traverse and get back into your heart space with this golden egg and the lion. You already know who you are with this lion, but it's almost like someone in your life wanted to shrink you. They're showing me like a laser gun with someone sort of squirting energy at you, pointing energy at you that ain't even yours. It was all like smoke and mirrors, refraction. They somehow managed to make you absorb something or become part of their storyline when it was never really about you. It was about them and their dusty ways, right? It's almost like you were collateral damage in this, and spirit just wants you to get back into this regal lion energy now, especially with the whale. Your energy is so timeless. They're sort of showing me you collecting energy, getting to a relaxed mode of being and collecting the energy back and re-remembering who you are and feeling like, whoa, that was simple. And your mind just cleaning up, like being polished up really easily. But yeah, they're saying get out there, get the pleasures, get the good food, get everything you need, and you're going to fly out of any mindsets that have got you feeling less than your amazing, beautiful, golden self. I hope this reading's helped somebody. Lots of love. Mwah.
Hello, everybody. Welcome in to the NBA front.
For this. All right. There we go. Giving away trade secrets in the process. My goodness. All right. Yeah, so obviously, I mean, y'all heard me talk, y'all heard her talk. Let me know what stood out to you in the comments below. Maybe something that made you think a little differently, something that triggered you, something that maybe you are excited about or like happy about in the sense of you have some sort of forward motivation now where you feel like I can do this shit, you know what I mean? Took out the deck, and the first thing, it came like this. We got the Queen of Cups on the bottom. I usually don't just take the top or the bottom thing, but it did stand out to me. But I'm here not to take that, so I'm not going to take it. But just so y'all know. Ah, shit. Can't even shuffle. Hands fucked up. Let's do this shit on camera before these people come out with the bullshit. That don't really ever happen on my channel though. I don't know. But Soul Source be talking about that shit all the time. People not shuffling on camera or something. Take this top one. Put that to the side. All these fell out. Let's see what fell out of here. Let's shuffle these little bits. Take this one. Let's see if we get anything else. The first thing, right when I said that, was these two. Oh, these three. I don't know if I should take all three though. I think it's these two. Boom. What is this? Oh, this is a little deck card that don't mean nothing. Well, I guess it means something. They wrote on it. All right, let's get to this. What we got here? This is another just intro card, basically. So there's nothing on that. So we got 4 cards here. 4 cards. Oh, it came out anyway. I put it back in the deck. I said I'm not going to take it. This was the first card that popped up right when I opened the box. So, yeah. Queen of Cups. She meant to be here, baby. We're going to talk about that. It's in the reverse, though. What else we got going on here? We've got a 4 of Pentacles, look like. But it looked like he's, like, hoarding the shit. Like, he looked like he's... I gotta keep my face clear, close, because the autofocus. But you can see that, right? So, definitely... Oh, there we go. Definitely looks like he's hoarding this. He got a little woman in the back. Looked like a little gold digger, honestly, the way she's positioned herself. But, matter of fact, speaking of what she was just talking about on the video I showed y'all, that was CLEO Raw, by the way. I'm not trying to take nobody's credit. This is CLEO Raw, that was the reader who was speaking. She always pops up at the right time for me, so yeah, give her credit for that. Shouts out to her for that. I just thought she had an important message, wanted to share it. I'm not trying to react to people's videos or do any kind of copyright nonsense. Anyways, but what stood out about this card, she was just talking about some dusty ass motherfuckers. Some dusty ass people, right, in your life. And you could literally see this king is like holding on to his coins while this woman is there trying to start her modeling career. I had just rewatched a couple of episodes of Flavor of Love recently, and one chick was there. She looked just like her, matter of fact. And it was all about her basically being there to start, you know, to elevate her modeling career. She brought her portfolio and everything. Like, she was like, I bought my portfolio for you when you're ready. And the other women were calling her out on doing that and all kind of stuff. So that, and then, I mean, Flav himself was like, yeah, I'm like 46, you're like 23, you know, are you even attracted to me type shit. So say all that to say, this man is hoarding his coins, trying to, but not, to me, it's not like a protective, it doesn't feel like he's protecting wealth. It really seems like a card of scarcity or like false perceptions around money, maybe, because the woman in the photo, she reminds me of that kind of dusty energy that we were talking about. She's literally like a skeleton, right? So yeah, it's like he's looking around kind of paranoid, and she's looking down, you know, thinking she got it like that, or looking at his coins like it's her riches, like it's her wealth type thing. So that's what I'm picking up on the card. This next one is 4 of Swords. This person is leaning. I mean, they're underground, but they're like leaning sideways. So obviously they don't have proper roots. They're not growing up. But it also seems like not growing upwards. They have their hands crossed like you would. Well, not quite. You would have it more like this, but kind of having their hands crossed like as if... Actually, this is how they cross their hands when you die. Oh, y'all can't see because of how I am today. It's like this, right? So she has her hands kind of in that position of how you would be in a casket. She is buried underground. She looks very straight, very unkept, a little bit worried, but yet calm at the same time. So I'm getting like worried and calm simultaneously off this card. If I could please show it to y'all. Boom, there we go, there we go, there we go. You see. Alright. Then the next one, the last one, is the King of Wands. Now he got little kids holding on to him, like a fatherly figure. He has actually on his red staff, it's like a red ruby. On his staff, it's like a red ruby, almost sapphire looking type of thing. His hair almost like dreads. His crown kind of like dreads. But anyways, yeah, so he's firmly rooted. He has the community children kind of latching on to him. Some of them look like they're a little bit ragtag, like they kind of looking for a handout a little bit. But also at the same time, one of them has like tree roots coming out of their head. So yeah, they might be in alignment, but this is surrounding wealth and some other things. Just going off the card itself. Come on. There we go. Ah, shit, I moved it right when it happened. Come. There we go. There we go. Alright, let's try to do this all together. Alright, skills. Picking it up with one hand. There we go. There we go. Come on, baby. Alright. No, there she goes. I'm like, somebody's missing. Oh, here we go. Alright, y'all get the point. Y'all get the point. Let's get this. Alright, Queen of Cups came out twice. Came out first twice. So definitely gonna read that one first. In fact, let me slide that over here. Boom. Which one did I say? Cups. Where's cups at? Alright. 9 of Cups. Alright. Suit of Cups. The realm of the cups is filled with new promises. They represent hopeful people who build harmonious relationships with their fellow citizens. Queen of Cups. The benevolent queen makes her way along the shoreline. She is careful to catch any drop of water that might spill from the glorious chalice she carries. In the distance, a lighthouse serves as a guiding beacon. Upright meaning, kind and caring person, devoted, imaginative, a guiding personality. However, we got it in the reverse. So, reverse meanings, untrustworthy, unreliable, indecision. So, that was in the video we watched together. She did touch on indecision. She didn't use that exact word, but she talked about, having multiple avenues basically, or different paths, and not really locking in on one or knowing which one is the right proper one to take, or the one for you right now. Not taking these risks. And I really resonate with that right now too. Not taking certain risks, maybe overthinking a little bit. Overthinking is also tied to a blocked root chakra. Not feeling, again, because you're not stable, you're not secure in where you are. You might even have some fear tied to where you are, type of thing, because there's a lot of uncertainty. So yeah, so that's first card for us right there. Untrustworthy, unreliable, indecision. And again, they were talking about the chalice and being very careful not to spill out of that chalice. All right, next, 4 of Pentacles. Let's see. Oh, we almost turned right to it. It was one page off. Four of Pentacles. Unprepared for his doom, the miser is escorted by a demon leading him into the roaring flames of damnation. Looking back on his life, he clutches four pentacles in an attempt to maintain his worldly possessions. Upright, one who's tight with money, greed, selfishness, putting material gain over all else. A miser. So boom, I just talked about that, how he looked. He looked like he was, hold on a second. Sorry about that. I just had to check something. Yeah, he looked like he was, like I said, kind of gripping onto his stuff. Not in a I'm prosperous type of way, but in like a lack type of way. And again, these descriptive words do have to do with what we're talking about, especially when your root chakra is blocked. I touched on that in the beginning of the live, but one is tight with money, greed, selfishness, putting material gain over all else, being a miser, being Scrooge, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't feel secure and you don't have the prosperity that comes along with unblocking this energy center within the body. And again, I mean, most people talk about the 7 chakras. Rarely, I've seen or heard very few people. Actually, I haven't heard people. I've seen YouTube videos on the 10th and the 12th chakra, which rarely, I've never heard people actually talk about. It's very, very important. One of them is the earth chakra, matter of fact. Yeah. But there's up to 72 in the body. Like you can hear, there's certain modalities, there's 72 chakras, and certain modalities there's 192. So, I'm not saying get too caught up in this one energy center, like as if that's all. However, it is a prominent energy center that is the literal foundation, literal root of everything that you do. So it is very important. To me, the other most important one, I would say, is the solar plexus, because that has a lot to do with your personal will and your confidence. People want to focus on the sacral, which is like, okay, you get the creativity, you get the sex drive and all of that, which you could be creative in sex too, but definitely what I found to be the most powerful, and especially if you're doing certain types of work, certain type of magic, certain type of occult work, whatever, you want to have a very strong solar plexus. You want to have, and just in life, you want to have your personal will. You want to have your direction, your boundaries, your convictions. You want to have all of that worked out and ironed out. You need to know your values in life. So, and also your self-confidence. All that comes from the solar plexus. So that's another very important one. I know a lot of people want to talk about the heart chakra. They want to talk about the throat. Can also be very important, obviously, because when we're talking about the root and getting back to this vulnerability, I mentioned that earlier, and then she even touched on, maybe you're getting back into essentially speaking your truth again. You're getting back into writing, or you're getting back into making these things known, whereas maybe you would have hidden it or suppressed it before, or even repressed it, hiding certain memories from your own self. So yes, let's go on to next. 4 of Swords. This deck is a little bit shorter. I always read the actual decks because I think that there's a great value in how the tarot artists prepared their own deck. There's certain illustrations and there's certain meanings, especially meanings that accompany the illustrations by the people that created it. I have a lot of different decks back here. You can't see them all in the frame right now. And there definitely is something to be said about how that person intended their work to be seen. Not to say that their interpretation is the only interpretation. Usually, when I read it, it all ties together. Partially, I mean, yeah, I am good at tying things together, but it's not just me. I definitely feel, you know, synchronicity and spirit guides and different things come in and help channel the messages. But, anyways, I'll say that to say this deck is like a little bit shorter explanations. So, if I'm cutting off abruptly, that's why. But some of y'all might prefer that. I don't know. I could talk for hours and hours and hours, so there's that aspect as well. Anyways, let's see here. Shit, where were we? Four of Swords. A girl in the ground is dreaming again. Her visions illuminate the tomb and keep 4 roses in bloom. 3 swords are plunged into the earth to mark her place of sleep. A 4th sword lies buried beside her. Upright meanings: re-energizing oneself, rest, retreat, exile, inverted thought. The reverse meaning would be renewed vigor, a return to daily life and events, activity. But we didn't get it in reverse. We got it upright. So we talking about, I've been thinking about this. You know, somebody was talking about locking yourself in a room for 6 hours. Lock yourself in a room for 6 hours and really get down to what they were talking about. Was like, most people don't know their purpose because most people don't want to find their purpose, which also makes sense in its own regard, because once you find it, you know, you don't have any more excuses to not act on it, because it's very clear. And a lot of times we want to find excuses as why not to do something. It's always going to be a million reasons why not. You just got to find the 2 or 3 reasons why to. So, I mean, if it's that passionate, or it keeps coming up in your mind, obviously it's important to you. Or maybe it was meant to be with you. You're the one meant to carry that beacon or carry that light. So, once you find out your purpose, it's like, all right, well, you going to keep running from it? Or how can you run from it once you know it? So, in any case, he was talking about most people don't know their purpose. They don't even want to find it out. They're like, you're literally blocking yourself. And so I've been thinking about the whole lock yourself in a room for 6 hours thing. Because I've been thinking about sitting down and meditating and writing for 6 hours straight type of shit. Why I've been thinking about it and not doing it is because I'm moving at like 1,000 miles an hour recently. And part of that is like, yeah, having to bounce around to travel here to go for the funeral and do this and do that and make sure this is in order, and I'm about to move. So it's like, my lease is about to be done. So it's like, all right, planning that and doing this. And then same time, I just launched a business, launched my online store a couple weeks ago. So then it's like, okay, move here. So anyways, it's where the mind needs rest. The body needs rest. My mind is exhausted. I am burnt the fuck out. I am burnt out. I don't have any more fight in me. Okay? But at the same time, watching that video just now, it kind of reinvigorated me in a certain sense. Me coming back live and helping other people out, it's kind of reinvigorated me in a sense. But the point is, like, my mind, it's like the middle is hollow and all around it is just chatter and noise. So sitting down and taking that reflection, taking that rest, taking that time, taking a step away for a minute. Here as well, like I said, sitting down and writing. Everybody says to meditate. You don't have to like sit down and meditate, by the way. You can walk and meditate. There is a difference between mindfulness and meditation. Just because you're not sitting in the Om position, like you're not sitting in with the mudras and chanting Om with your legs crossed, doesn't mean that you're not meditating. All right, so there's different ways. Find the way that works for you. You can walk and meditate. Meditation is nothing but when you see the thought, acknowledge the thought and let it go. Acknowledge the thought, let it go. Somebody said it's more, you can visualize it like leaves down a stream. You see the leaf, let it go. See the leaf, let it go. Now, if you're going into a trance, a shamanic trance, that's when you follow that leaf. You're not going to let the leaf just fly out. You want to follow the leaf to see where it leads you. If you're doing mindfulness, you would be present and aware at the fact that you're standing on the riverbank looking at the leaf and contemplating the leaf and whatever. All right, so meditation, though, the thought pops and you let it fly. Just let it go, right? Because you don't want, in that practice, You don't want to follow everything. You're trying to let your mind rest. It really shouldn't even be a try, because you're just going to see it and let it. You know what I mean? Don't get wrapped up in it. But anyways, yeah, time for rest period, which explains a lot, especially with her being underground, you know. And the thing is, like, if, because who knows with technology, but if and when you die in this lifetime, you might, you know, come back and be in a different form and different things. But in this lifetime, you got one chance at this lifetime, currently on this timeline. Will this shit even matter? Will most of it even matter? Will this be something that is like, you're carrying this on for lifetimes, like for millennia? Is this moment right now, whatever it is that is hindering you or holding you back, is that thing gonna be your legacy? Is that gonna be your destiny, to be stuck on that one thing? So this is what I'm talking about, taking your power back and transmuting that trauma and turning it into something beautiful that could help other people, or even just help you. Sometimes it ain't even about, we always want to save everybody else and help everybody else. Sometimes it's just saving you, right? So helping yourself out and giving yourself that grace and that timing and that space to heal yourself, or to, you know, allow yourself that same compassion that you would give another. Like if that shit happened to your friend, whatever that trauma was. Hold up a minute. Alright. Sorry, I had to make sure. Something looked weird on the screen. Where was I? See, this is the thing about being live. I was going good. Now it's like I can't even use this for a YouTube clip. Whatever. The point is that it's not always about helping other people. It's about giving yourself that same grace and compassion that you would give a friend who went through a similar trauma. Now, a lot of times we're nicer to other people than we are ourselves. It's easier to give them that leeway than it is to not judge ourselves for whatever the situation is that happened. So that's another thing to look at as well. That's another perspective. All right, King of Wands. Yo, we got every suit. We got every suit, dog. I don't know if that's ever happened, because usually when I read, and all of these, of course, got a moon in the back. Usually, and not every card in the deck has a moon, by the way. I know it's called Deviant Moon, but I just noticed every single one of these cards has a moon in them. All in the top by the heads. 2 in the top right, 2 in the top left. Yeah, usually I'll get like 3 of the same suit, like a lot of swords or a lot of cups or whatever. This is the first time, and we only got 4 cards. And each of them, we got all of them, man. We got our cups. We've got our pentacles, which are really, really, I mean, he's definitely gripping onto these coins right now, dude. Definitely gripping on. We got the sword stabbing a woman that's already underground. How much lower can you be? All right, she's not even on this earthly plane no more. I mean, she's embedded in it, but she ain't walking the earth. And then you got this man here that we about to read with the wand. So let's see. Man, my allergies have been good since last year. And now all of a sudden I come live with y'all. It's messed up again. What y'all doing to me, man? What y'all doing to me? Here we go. Wands. Where you at? We got swords. We got cups. We got pentacles. Wands is hiding from us, man. Here we go. Alright. Suit of Wands. The Tribe of Wands. The Tribe of Wands lives their life with passion and creativity. When faced with problems, they use their ingenious imagination to overcome adversity. King of Wands. The King of Wands leads his children on an exciting adventure through the woods. His fatherly guidance inspires his offspring down the path of life, for he always sets good examples for them to follow. Upright meetings, a father, loving paternal qualities. Sorry, it was split. All right, so a father, loving paternal qualities, a married man, wise leader. Boom. When I first saw this card, I just immediately got that fatherly figure, especially in the illustration, because sometimes the traditional meanings don't match the illustrations and things. But yeah, like I said, building community. You could build community through fatherhood. Literally, we were talking about earlier, changing the world by changing your world. Not thinking that you have to sit here and try to change the world of 7.4 billion people or 8 billion or whatever the hell is getting up to now. It starts with you in your internal world before you can give anything to anybody else. So we have to work through these traumas and rebuild the root chakra. And while we're talking about the root chakra, you can wear red, you can visualize red, you can burn a red candle, you can say the mantra that is associated lam, right? You could say that 108 times and go through like the traditional way that people deal with shit. But honestly, I would write about it. You know, the hesitations that you feel with sharing the story or talking about it, sometimes to yourself. It's not even about sharing the story with other people. Sometimes it's with ourselves. You know, I talked about repressing memories as well. So sometimes it's hard to write the shit down. It's hard to go through and feel what you were feeling or associate with that memory over and over and over again until you can write it down on paper. But really, you could do automatic writing. Just put headphones on and just move the pen. Just move the pen. Don't think about what you're writing. Don't do none of that. Just write. Just let it all just blah, just come out. And then you can go back a day later or later that day even and read what you wrote. And it'll surprise you. It will surprise you for sure. That's one of my favorite things to do is that. That also came from the Dada movement, which was like the era of Picasso and Salvador Dali and Man Ray and all of them. Obviously, when I say those names, those guys spoke from a... Now, Salvador Dali didn't like to say it was from a surrealism standpoint, but either way, him specifically was really into the dream state, really into the hidden depths of the mind. And when you talk about the Dada movement, they literally tapped into just the subconscious mind and just let it come out on paper. So these great artworks, these great artists were able to tap in to a lot of the things that we're talking about today. So, yes, that is the first deck. Boom. I got one more for you. One more. When I'm putting this in the box, I just now saw the star card. So let's read that real quick. Because clearly it's important. Boom. The star. Number 17. Which is number 8. Number 8 is an important spiritual number for me as well. Not just because of infinity, but other reasons. Anyways, a maiden sits on the shore and pours water into a crystal pool. 7 stars shine behind her, bringing hope to the lands below. Oh wait, did I just put it away? Oh, I didn't pull it out. I saw it and then let it slip in the box, whatever. Upright meaning, hope, sign of good things, renewed faith, fulfillment in life's pleasures. Damn, she was just talking about that. Let's see where, here it is. So it was like, oh my gosh. Us in this autofocus today, boy. Here we go. It was right here in the back of the deck when I was putting it away. She got 7 stars, so that's another universal number. 7 stars above the head. And just pouring, you know, abundance, overflow, bounty, pouring into yourself. Pouring into yourself. So yeah, a sign of hope, sign of good things, renewed faith, fulfillment in life's pleasures. We talked about that. Well, she talked about that. CLEO Raw talked about that. Pleasure in life. Alright, boom. Let's see this next one. If I could get these... They don't want to go in the box. Boom. Yeah, let's get that. Oops. I don't usually ever open it like this. Let me put this back. Alright. Need some music now, man. I feel like something just flipped, but oh, it went back normal. Come on, baby. Everything today that we talked about, what do we need to know about? One barely fell out. It wasn't like an aggressive fallout. It just kind of floated to the bottom. I mean, floated on the floor. Okay, now we're dropping shit. Let's see. Oh. Let's see who comes out of here. It's like maybe 6 cards that fell. This one, I'm getting a strong pickup on that one. And then what else we got? So we got 2 cards so far. And 2 more just fell out. Ooh. I forgot how beautiful this deck is, man. I forgot how beautiful this is. Someone was telling me to put this last card back in, but I can't. This shit is too beautiful. I gotta show it to y'all. It's just, it looks too good. I'm gonna put the rest of the deck back. Alright. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. We're dropping everything. I've gotten this guy before. A long time ago, though. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. Let's see where we're at. Read them. So the first one we got is Thought. Number 18. Number 9, baby, shouts out. Then we got 14, King of, which is number 5, Change, Creativity, Harmony. King of Water for that one. Then we have the 3 of Earth. He's here like trying to nurture a little squirrel. Like he's like tending to a garden and feeding it. He's all green and everything. He even got the horns for the Taurus. Those aren't ram horns. So yeah, Taurus. And then we got this number 9. I believe this is is this a symbol for air? No, this is a symbol for water. So we have a 9 of water as well. She's kind of looking up. A little bit of disdain on her face. But, I mean, she's still looking to the sky, and she got her third eye painted on there as well. Very high, actually. But whatever, she got it painted on there as well. It looks like some code, some like light code DNA activation coming down from the ether. Right here. Oh, shit. Come on, man. Yeah. So that was the card that fell out. But anyways, let's read this and see what we got. Thought. I don't know where anything is in this deck. It's been a minute since I've used this. I just felt drawn to it. Alright. We're going to figure this out together. I hope. Okay. Boom. Here we go. Thought. Oh, this is a long ass booklet, bro. All of this? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Hey, y'all strap in, man. Oh, damn. Did I lose the page? Sheesh. Alright, strap in. Hey, we got a like up in here. Shouts out to you. Alright, I appreciate you. Alright. I'm sorry, man. This card threw me for a loop. Alright. What did I say? 18. Number 9, baby. So that's cycle of completion right there. Alpha and Omega. Number 9 is basically like a 0. Anything plus 9 equals itself. You know what I'm saying? 7 plus 9 will equal back to 7 type shit. So here we go. Keywords. Thought. Reality. Power. Attention. Focus. Attraction. Positivity. Negativity. Universal law. So boom. She kind of alluded to it, but you talking about, everybody talks about law of attraction. You need to focus on law of vibration. Okay? You got to want to feel that thing all the way down to your fingertips. Whatever that thing is, whatever it is you desire. Instead of focusing on the things you don't want, focus on everything you do want. Your vibration, and when we talking about, she kept talking about dusty people. All right, you got these dusty people in your life. Dusty people want to bring you down to the dust. They will grind you down to the dust. They do not care. All right? It's like that zombie level of operation or that skeleton level of operation. Some people love staying down there. That's their vibration. If you stay around that vibration, it will seep into and become your vibration. So a lot of times you might have to remove yourself from family or people or friends or ex-situationships or workplaces and different things, whatever it may be in your life, right? Certain situations, business partnerships, music collaborations, whatever. Yeah, so universal law, that's that. Then you're talking about the polarity. That's also universal law of positivity and negativity on the same polarity. We got, again, attraction. What are you attracting with your vibration? And when we're going through these bouts of triggering and trauma, which is why we started this live tonight, it could be very, 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 like damn near impossible to try to keep a high vibration when you have this stuff on your mind, right? You have this stuff on your mind, and the mind is, it's heavy, like your whole body gets heavy. You know, I got into some of the actual science and the neuroscience earlier, you know, about how you're not, like you literally dissociate. You're not tuned in and tapped into yourself, because this whole side of your brain on the imaging scans that they did, people that have gone through immense trauma don't have the same sense of self as other people do. And another thing is a book I read or started. I haven't completed all these books, but a book I had started a while back, Neurodiscipline. He talked about that, of how, and I made a video, a little short, about how to truly stop procrastinating. And the thing is, like, people that chronically procrastinate, like myself, we don't have a connection to our future self the way that other people do. So when you don't have that connection to your future self, it's easy to procrastinate and stay where you are, stay in the comfort that we talked about as well, because you don't see that you don't have an emotional connection to your future. It really doesn't even phase you. Like, you might think about, like, obviously, like, I think about it. You know what I'm saying? I used to be the person to be like, you can get hit by a bus tomorrow. Like, do it all today. You know what I mean? But then somebody was like, well, what if you do make it till tomorrow? Then what? And I mean, I still kind of just figure it out as I go. But there is definitely something to be said about not being in tune. It's not even about not being in tune with you. It's literally like there's no connection to this avatar or to this vision of yourself, of your future self. So it's more of like a thought form. Like, you can say, oh, well, I would love to have this, and this one day. Or you can start to kind of envision the attributes that your future self would have, but you don't necessarily believe that that's going to be your future self in a way. So again, this is overcoming the subconscious mind and the training that it's had. And I'm getting closer to it, you know what I'm saying? It's been a journey for sure. It's been years and years and years. But you know, for anybody else that might be going through that, anybody else out there that may be going through that, you know, it's shown that trauma really does rob you of that. It strips your brain of making those connections of self. And that does impact you. Like, when they talk about procrastination, lately you've been hearing people talk about, oh, it's actually an emotional response. It's not laziness. It's not, oh, I don't want to get it done, or, oh, man, I just want to lay around all day. It's not even about that. You know what I'm saying? It's usually an avoidance and things. But anyways, I'm going off on a tangent a little bit, so let's get back to what's here. We got a lot to read. Let me sit here and y'all remember doing that as a kid? Drinking Sprite, like, I don't know, maybe that's some 90s kid shit. I don't know. Anyways, let's see. Key phrases. Thought creates reality. Boom. We could just wrap it all up right there. This is what I've been talking about for the last hour and a half or whatever it's been. Okay? So, thought creates reality. Thought is the foundation of consciousness. Don't rush your thinking. Be certain. Thought is energy. Energy flows where attention goes. Ooh, that's a bar. Be mindful of the universal laws. Are conscious and unconscious mind in accord? Again, that's what we're talking about. What we want and what we desire is something different than what we tell ourselves on a daily basis, or what we've been taught to believe on a daily basis. Be realistic instead of optimistic or pessimistic. So, good middle ground, neutral. Good and bad go hand in hand. Change your mind, change your life. Do not overthink or speculate. Question the critical mind speak. Meaning, cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. This simple statement, expressed by René Descartes, is a founding principle of Western philosophy. It means if one questions one's existence, the very act of doubting and then questioning is proof that one does indeed exist. But what if you are a figment of your own imagination, or the imagination of a God mind? What if you were something else, dreaming of being human, or only existing because someone or something is dreaming of you? Yo, what if we're all imaginary friends? Hey, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. That might be real. Anyways, they put stuff in cartoons, man. Just saying. We may think we are human. We may think we are real, possessing a solid physical form. We may think our world is what it is, but at a quantum level, research suggests that the world around us does not exist unless we focus our attention upon it. It does not become real and remains fluid and changeable until we give it substance, definition, and form. That is absolutely freaking true. When you get to certain levels of study, of metaphysics, of spirituality, you will start to understand that for real. Again, it does not become real and remains fluid and changeable until we give it substance, definition, and form. You think the table or chair in front of you is there. Actually, that is just molecules vibrating at different paces and speeds, which makes a difference between liquid, gas, or solid. But anyways, yeah, you think the table or chair in front of you is there. Your senses and mind give it substance and form, and so therefore it is. But at a quantum level, the table does not exist until you focus your mind and attention upon it. Thought creates reality. Thought is the second and one of the most dominant of the influence cards in the deck. For thought, like emotion, will determine the direction of your life. Your thoughts, the way you think, shape and create the world around you. What and how you think is as true a reflection of you as the face that looks back at you when you gaze in the mirror. Let me say that again. What and how you think is as true a reflection of you as the face that looks back at you when you gaze in the mirror. However, from a scientific standpoint, thought still remains a mystery. Neuroscientists are learning the mechanics of thought, but why it occurs is not yet known and can only be guessed at. Regardless of the way it operates, though, thought is a complex process that involves both the conscious and unconscious mind, and is the result of our senses being stimulated by and reacting to the environment in which we dwell. It is a product of mental activity. It is the manipulation of information in a manner that enables us to conceptualize, reason, work through problems, and make decisions. Thought is at the very foundation of consciousness, and some would suggest that without consciousness, we would not be human. The past. The past is the birthplace of all the thoughts that dwell within our minds. Even something experienced here is what you believe to be present. Even something experienced here is what you believe to be the present has already occurred. Several studies have revealed that we make our decisions a few seconds before we think of them. That's crazy. I've heard that before though, but it blows my mind. It also takes several milliseconds for our minds to process what we are experiencing. So before our minds have made the sense of the moment has already passed. The thought card, when it appears in the past position, asks that you or someone you trust look to the past for answers. Doing so will bring clarity and confidence. It could be that something important has been forgotten, and so your thinking is flawed as a result. You are being cautioned not to rush into a decision right now, for what you think to be true and correct might not be. Think carefully and discuss the situation. A puzzle piece is missing. And so now you need to look into your mind and memories to determine if you are remembering everything and remembering it correctly. Take a moment to be a little more analytical than usual. Reflect, process, and remember so you can be confident that you are making a choice or decision. Reflect, process, and remember so you can be confident that you are not making a choice or decision based on a flawed memory where details have been forgotten or altered. Now is not the time to think you might be correct. Be certain instead. The present. How we think, whether we think in a positive, confident, and compassionate manner, or whether we think in a negative, critical, and judgmental manner, will give rise to the same energy in our day-to-day lives. Our thoughts are energy in its simplest and purest forms, just as all that is matter is also energy, so it does not take belief in a particular concept or ideology for our thoughts to have influence on our day-to-day lives, as well as on the lives of those around us. When the thought card appears in the present, it represents taking a holistic approach to your thoughts and accepting their power to shape your reality. Thought, emotion, belief, and perception all work hand in hand with each other. Each is separate from the other, but each also has the power to change one or all four. Again, that's thought, emotion, belief, and perception. Each also has the power to change one or all four. All four have been shown to govern our overall energy. We attract to us what we focus our thoughts and attention upon, but it is not a simple case of like attracting like. With energy, there's always more to it. Regardless of whether we believe in the concept of universal law or not, These laws will continue to work around us. In simple terms, there are 7 universal laws. They are as follows. This is very, very, very important. I haven't talked about the universal law. Well, I mean here and there, but I just kind of assume that people have read the Kabbalion or are familiar with the laws. But we're going to break them down here right now. So ain't no excuses. Ain't no, oh, I didn't know type shit. All right. And some people explain them differently, but we're going to read through these and hopefully it's the right, or hopefully it's an overview that helps you. All right. First one. So here we go. Mind. All is of the mind. All is energy. All that exists within your reality is born of what dwells within your mind or the minds of others. We are all born of the universal mind, which some people say is a thoughtless, formless thing. You know, I guess I've read more books than I realized, because I keep thinking about like, oh, this was in that book, this was in that book, this was in that book. I haven't finished any of these books, but at least I've gotten information and started these books. So there we go. It's better than being on TikTok all day. All right, so here we go. Correspondence. As above, so below. All that dwells within us dwells externally. What we feel and think within heart and mind, we will see and experience in the world around us and see mirrored in others. And that's again when we talk about the shadow self and being irritated. We talked about that earlier. But this also reminds me of everything that happens mentally manifests physically. And another aspect of having a blocked root chakra is having problems with like your feet, your rectum, all these different places that are lower, that are grounded. You understand? Personally, I had issues with like a tendon in my left foot bothering me for damn near a year. You understand? Like, because I was in a different place mentally. So this shit is serious. Like, it really does impact you. Alright, so we did mind, we did correspondence. 3. We got vibration. Nothing is still. All is energy. And all that is energy vibrates. Everything we experience with our senses takes place on a vibrational level. Everything within the universe vibrates to a particular frequency. Like vibration will attract the same or similar vibration, while those of a different vibration will repel. Yeah, that whole opposites attract bullshit. Nah. When you talk about magnets, for sure, and sometimes people try to say in like relationships and shit, but really it's something about their vibrations that are bringing them together. Because if you didn't vibe with that person, it would be impossible to try to keep the two together. And we are electromagnetic beings, so. Anyways, polarity. Everything has its opposite, and those opposites are identical in nature, but different by degree. Though these opposites are both part of the whole, and without both, there is no whole. Rhythm. Everything ebbs and flows, waxes and wanes, transforms and transmutes. Everything has a season, and every season comes to an end as it flows into the next. It's interesting reading that because at one of my aunt's funerals a couple weeks ago, that was one of the scriptures that was read, was about there's a time for everything. A time to laugh, a time to cry, you know, a time to live and mourn and different things like that. So yeah, that really just reminded me that when it says every season, everything has a season and every season comes to an end as it flows into the next. Cause and effect. Nothing happens by chance. Everything happens for a reason, whether that reason be known or unknown. For every action there will be a reaction, whether it be your actions or the actions of others. And the last one is gender. Everything contains elements of both masculine and feminine. And that's talking about the divine masculine and divine feminine, not non-binary and all of that. Divine masculine archetype and divine feminine archetype. You can look into that further. I'll go back to one of my old videos. Now, these universal law, I don't know which one. I bring it up in like quite a bit of them. Well, I'll go into that another day. Anyways, these universal laws influence our lives, and there is never just one law at work in our experiences. They are all working together and weaving every moment in unison, as if our lives were part of some cosmic tapestry. Whether we can conceive it or not, these universal laws are at the foundation of life and existence. With this in mind, it stands to reason that we should at least be mindful and aware that we are the master weavers in control of our own loom and thread. CLEO was talking about being your own creator, your own weaver, as this book calls it. And there was something earlier I said too about, your subconscious mind creates your reality. So you are creating your own reality. Now, sometimes our reality is created from us reacting to something externally, but again, you can choose how you can react. Like, you could choose to take it as some life-ending, life-altering thing that you can never get over, you're going to hold on to for 30 years, whatever. Or you can take it as something to gain strength from, something to help other people with, something to help yourself with, help you grow, help you, change your perceptions about maybe how you interact with folks. And I'm not saying like harden your heart and like be scared and never branch out or anything, but sometimes the naivete that we walk around with can be harmful for us, depending on other people's motives. So it's just something to consider. It doesn't mean close yourself off to everybody, but again, this is where vibe comes in. You could see like, okay, I could vibe with you, or you got this going on. And instead of repainting people's colors or trying to remove their mask, I used to do that a lot. I would try to do that. Nah, just take it at face value. You understand? They're telling you who they are, even in unspoken words, or even in words that they might not use directly. You can pick up on a lot. Just observe, just watch people, listen to what they say compared to how they react to things, or compared to how they move, So maybe that was a message for one of you. Back to where we are though. Right. Remember, it matters not how much you want to manifest a particular outcome on a conscious level if your unconscious mind thinks, feels, and believes something contradictory. We talked about that in length on this live, so we're going to keep moving. If your unconscious mind is full of thoughts of failure, fear, or a belief that you do not deserve the outcome you desire, then your overall energy will be very different to what you think it is. Like an ocean, your surface may reflect a peaceful calm, while the depths below are murky and hide currents that can drag you down. And because the thoughts that are locked within the unconscious mind are more deeply rooted within your psyche, your vibration will mirror those unconscious thoughts for good or ill. Absolutely. Absolutely. So you might ask, if an individual has no awareness of what dwells within their unconscious mind, unless it manifests in specific patterns of behavior in the present, how can he or she have any power over those unconscious thoughts and the behavior they give rise to? The answer is that rather than focusing on what is seemingly not in your control, you instead understand that you are a being of unlimited potential, and allow the seeds of new way of thinking to take root. Which that can get into neuroplasticity. You can literally rewire your brain to accept certain things or deny certain things, right? So, unconscious thoughts, for example, can lose their power and ability to drive a negative mindset by the simple acceptance that good and bad go hand in hand. Therefore, instead of taking a dichotomous approach based on the notion that we must not be negative and must be positive, flow through life with the awareness that there will always be positive rewards and negative consequences to every experience, and you must take responsibility for your role. Instead of blaming others, blaming situation, blaming this, blaming that, look at yourself and look at your accountability. That could be difficult, but nobody said this shit was easy. Now, if they did, they're lying to you. I don't know who told you that. You need to sue them, fire them, do something, set them on fire. Literally, like, I don't know who told y'all life is easy. I don't know where y'all got that from. Now you could say, you could look at certain Abraham Hicks teachings, like where stuff shouldn't be such a rigid kind of battle. You know what I mean? It's not everything in life should be such a push and pull, like a battle, like you're playing tug of war, or trying to force things. When you do that, that's how you know it's not for you. Because if it was for you, you wouldn't have to be going through all of that. Now, some things are worth fighting for, but absolutely there are times where we want something to work so bad that we're literally damaging ourselves and just keep hitting our head against a wall and getting nowhere except for damaging our external beings and things. Sometimes our inner being. But yeah, I don't know where this life is easy foolishness came from. Sometimes you got to go through the hard, sucky stuff to make it out the other side. And that's just what it is. So, back to us now, though. Shoot, where were we at? Dang. Okay, anyways. I'm just going to reread it. No, I'm not going to reread that part. Yeah. Okay, therefore, instead of taking a dichotomous approach based on the notion that we must not be negative and must be positive, flow through life with the awareness that there will always be positive rewards and negative consequences to every experience, and you must take responsibility for your role. Instead of being optimistic or pessimistic, be realistic. Embrace a way of thinking that embraces the whole instead of either or. There is a silver lining to every storm cloud. Remember to look for it. There is something good to be learned from every failure. Try to learn it. There is a ferryman to be paid for every success. Be prepared and willing to pay your dues. In these ways, we can take the bad with the good and the good with the bad and find a center place where both are met with peaceful acceptance instead of the expectation that a particular outcome is the only outcome that will take us to where we need or want to be. Again, be open to all possibilities. Then we can see that just as there is nothing wrong with being positive and optimistic, there's nothing wrong with feeling negative and pessimistic at times. Yo, I'm glad they touched on that. All right? It's okay to not be okay. All right? It is okay to not be okay. In society, it's so like everything is about escapism. You want to drink your sorrows away. You want to have, you want to sleep with everybody to try to feel something. You want to escape from your life. You want to run away. You want to, use drugs, use this, use that. You want to cope with food. So you want to be addicted to food or addicted to Netflix or scrolling other people's lives on social media or, drowning yourself out by sleeping with strangers or whatever it is. Or the toxic positivity of like just do yoga, just do meditation. Oh my God, just feel good all the time. That's not life. You're here to experience it all. It's not realistic to think that you're just always gonna be on this high elevated level. And like the people that do that are the fakest fucking people, man. Usually they're the ones suffering the most, but like you'll see these people and they put on this act of always being bubbly and cheery, and some people truly are. But to think that every day of their lives that they've been bubbly and cheery, every day of their lives that they've had no pain, no sorrow, no suffering, no disappointment, no heartbreak, no this, no that, is complete bullshit. All right, so don't get caught up in this whole like just think positive thoughts and everything will be fine. I'm sitting here telling you acknowledge all the sucky stuff, but understand that there is going to be some type of lesson, some positive lesson that you can take from it. But don't run from the sadness. Don't run from the madness. Don't run from the moments where you need silence. Like if you're exhausted, you're run out, you're burnt out, whatever. So let me stop rambling now. I mean, it is my video, so I guess I'm not technically rambling, but we were in the middle of something, so here we go. There's nothing wrong with feeling negative and pessimistic at times. Our vibration is not meant to be static. It changes as we change. Ebb and flow, cause and effect, working towards any outcome will offer moments of both. What we experience from one day to the next will offer us both. It is good to understand, too, that every time you set your heart and mind to a particular objective, you are likely to experience both moments of bliss and moments of terror as your thoughts swing from one to the other, back and forth and back. Be mindful and aware of your thoughts and their influence, and shape your mind into one that works in harmony with the universal laws. And you will begin to see your thoughts in action and how they manifest in your reality. And you see how I said, and then you will begin. This is not like a 3-day process. Everybody tries to act like, oh, well, they told me this law of attraction thing. If I just focus on it, I'll have it in 3 days. Nah, bro. Like, it takes time to reprogram your mind to even accept that this could be a reality. Some of you are still sitting here doubting. I just gave you 2 hours of information and proof from Western science and neuroscience down to, MRIs and brain scans, over to another reader, over to the actual spirit messages coming in here as me as the reader, like whoever wrote this book, you know what I'm saying? All of us are trying to sit here and tell you, all of us are telling you, and it's still somebody out here doubting it, you know what I'm saying? It takes time. So allow yourself that pace and that passion. I mean that grace as well. Pace and grace. Allow yourself some pace and grace. It's important. So here. Wait. If you have ever changed your mind about something, you will know that doing so can change everything. Again, for good or ill, a change in thought can change your life in an instant. Big facts. The thought card in the present represents a time to really see and appreciate the power of the thoughts that dwell within you. The future. The thought card in the future position has a simple message. Sometimes the best way to achieve the future outcome that you desire is not to think about it unless it is necessary. Less is sometimes more. Try not to ponder and speculate at this time. Rather than fill your mind with thoughts of what if and maybe, just set your intentions. Learn what you need to do in order to achieve the outcome you desire, and then allow yourself to stop thinking and simply do what needs to be done. When what needs to be done has been done, step back and focus your thoughts on something else, like having fun. The thought card in the future says you do not need to think so much. Just let it be. My goodness. Really quickly, potential blockage with this same card. We didn't get it in the reverse, but I just feel like this is a little warning to look out for. So let's see what it says. Potential blockage. Sometimes we know why we think as we do. Sometimes we know why we think as we do. We have experienced a moment or many moments that are the foundation of the thoughts in our head, within our head, and we can work to lessen our negative impact they may have upon our lives. This is the most confusing sentence read out loud. Okay, hold on. Sometimes we know why we think as we do. We have experienced a moment or many moments that are the foundation of the thoughts within our head, and we can work to lessen any negative impact they may have upon our lives. However, there are also times when we do not know why we have the thoughts that we do. They are just there. Are they the result of exposure to a media-driven society that runs on negative comparisons? Or is it the voice in our head that of our parents or other influential family members? Sometimes we do not understand the unconscious thoughts, feelings, and beliefs that give rise to a harsh, critical, judgmental, or doubtful voice in our head, especially when we have been led what we believe to be a happy life. Especially when we have led what we believe to be a happy life. The thought card reversed symbolizes the need to question negative and critical mind speak when it arises. Ask yourself why you are thinking the thoughts that fill your mind and create the chatter. If the thoughts revolve around you, try asking yourself these questions. Are the thoughts valid? Do they have foundation? If so, it might be time to look inward to determine why you are having them. If they do not have foundation, however, the best thing to do is to shift your attention. Do not allow them to become persistent thoughts that can in turn become words and beliefs that do not serve you. If the chatter in your mind is harsh and critical or fearful and doubting, it will affect how you move throughout your life. It will affect how you move through your life. It may even prevent you from achieving the outcomes you most desire. Whatever the cause, when a critical or condemning inner voice speaks, there is no real way to hide from it. All we can do is shine a light upon the thoughts behind the voice, do what we can to understand those thoughts, and then change or dispel them. Doing so will in turn silence that voice. If that does not help, then sometimes the only alternative is distraction. When your inner voice is critical or judgmental, do something that shifts your focus and give it something more productive and beneficial to chatter about. That's a good tip right there. Good advice. It is in this way that affirmations, joyful activity, and a positive social environment can be beneficial. The affirmations and activities serve to shift your attention to more positive thoughts, while the latter helps by not feeding the negative thoughts. It is quite challenging, however, to banish negative, critical mind speak while surrounded by friends and family who encourage or feed negativity. Oh, it is quite challenging, however, to banish negative, critical mind speak while surrounded by friends and family who encourage or feed negativity. That's the dusty people, bro. She was talking about the dusty people. We talking about the last deck about people bringing you down. That's it right there. It's hard to change and elevate, especially going against family, especially when they're all still in that low vibe. They want to be in that low vibe. They thrive and they live in that. They don't thrive in it. They're usually miserable as fuck. Like, they do not thrive, but they do not want to change and put in the work to elevate. Some might be scared, some might not know how, some might be in denial, some might be whatever. Okay? But you determine your own destiny, so you can't sit here and try to take yourself down to their level. I tried that shit before. It don't work. When you're on a certain path, you're on a certain wavelength. To try to suppress yourself to fit in with that, it damages you, but then it also causes tension within that. You're not going to fit within that. They're going to push you out, essentially. Okay? Your higher mind, your higher self is also going to pull you out at the same time. So either way you flip it, they're not going to be able to tolerate being around you for too long, and you're not going to be able to tolerate being around them. And if you're really trying to elevate, staying around the people that initially gave you these limiting thoughts and beliefs is damn near impossible and also foolish. Why would you want to stay around people that did that to you or for you? Now, sometimes it's like, okay, but you want to call your sister, you want to talk to your mom. Okay. But also understand that sometimes you're going to have to limit your interactions with them. It's just the reality of the situation. So now, so for your own well-being, and this goes to friends too, of course, whoever, spouses, people don't like, oh my God, that's a big one. People don't like to look at their partner and how their partner will sometimes drag them down. How their partner will make little sly little comments or might even be jealous of them. We've seen that, where partners are jealous of their spouse's success. Matter of fact, I've been watching I Love Lucy again recently, and Desi Arnaz was very jealous of Lucille Ball's success. They've talked about that extensively. So even your co-actor, your co-anchor, your supporting cast role, who's also your husband, can be jealous of you. And that's not the only example. That's just fresh on my mind right now. So sometimes you got to look at who you truly are in bed with, literally and figuratively. Definitely. Especially literally, because you share so much more on that plane of sexual entanglement. So much more. Like you're giving everything in you. And it might just feel like, oh, it's just physical on its 3D plane, but it's so much more than that. You're literally intertwining with their energy. So I say it all the time, but like messing with the wrong person can really mess up your life. I usually say it in a different way, but I don't know. I'm tired of cussing today, so which is weird for me, but whatever. It must be my audience tonight. Let's see where we're at. Right. So, for your own well being, look closely at your circle of friends, family, and work colleagues and notice how they express their own thoughts. Do they have a tendency to make harsh comparisons? Do they ridicule, judge, or condemn those who think in a different way? Even though we love the people we have in our lives, they are not always good for us. When we become aware of this, it may be that the only way to find our way back to a healthy, positive Mindspeak is to limit our exposure to those who focus on the negative. When the thought card appears reversed in your reading, listen to your Mindspeak and understand how it reflects the truest nature of your thoughts. Ask yourself whether those thoughts are welcome or if they need to change. Listen closely to what your inner voice says to you and about you. Listen closely to what your inner voice says to you and about you, and know that the very thoughts behind the chatter have the power to shape your reality. Yes, sir. That's I don't even care how long it was. I keep worrying about other people. I don't mind how long it was. If you minded how long it was, you could always pause this shit and come back to it. Or just share it for somebody else that will appreciate it. Either way, let's get to this King of Water now. I don't think these other cards are going to be as long. Let me sip some water. Speaking of water, make sure you hydrate. Your cells need it. Your brain needs it. Your skin needs it. Your digestion needs it. Your health needs it. Your chapped lips need it. Your dry skin needs it. Your acne needs it. Your blood needs it. Your urine needs it. What else? Your dehydration, your dry mouth needs it. Everything else. Digestion, all that. Alright. I think I already said that though. Water. Where my boy Water at? Ooh, I see fire. I skipped it somehow. There's water. Earth. Air. Fire. Oh, here we go. Water. King, is he in the front or the back? I'm guessing in the back. Alright, we got the queen. Boom. King of Water. Keywords. Oh, this is the color, the card. Alright. Calm, contemplative, insightful, fluid, balanced, protective, nurturing, jealousy, possessiveness. That's a lot tied into one person. It sounds a lot like me. I'm maybe not calm all the time though. Whatever. Key phrases: safe harbor in a storm, let go of gender bias, strength born of adaptability, be present in your relationships, a need for excitement. That's not just romantic relationships, by the way. I don't know why our minds always go straight to romantic. It's not just that. It's everything we just mentioned on the last card. Alright, marry critical thinking and emotional logic. Marry the two of those. Allow your feelings to guide a decision. Address a cause for jealousy. Bro, we were just talking about jealousy too. Meaning. The King of Water represents a strong man. What the hell just changed here? What? Oh, my other light went off for some reason. That's strange. Okay. I'm like, something happened. All right. The king of water represents a strong man who is calm and protective like a safe harbor in a storm. A strong man who is calm and protective like a safe harbor in a storm. He is a nurturing, caring father who embraces no gender specific role. He is willing to be both mother and father, nurturer and protector, homemaker and provider. As a partner, he is loving and supportive, a gentle but passionate and sensual lover, and someone who is not afraid to explore and experiment. He is both sensitive and thoughtful, but never weak or soft. He exudes strength. He is who he is because he chooses to be present and caring, adaptable and fluid. He loves to use his senses because to do so is to elicit an emotional response, and he is willing to look within and explore those emotions to increase his understanding. He is a person who has successfully married critical thinking with emotional logic, the process of using one's emotions and feelings in a logical manner to become more knowledgeable and aware, and uses this to his advantage. He is aware that all decision making has an emotional element and that no decision can be balanced without emotions and feelings being taken into account. He has learned from his emotions and uses that knowledge in a productive and constructive manner. Are you considering your feelings in your decision making process? Now is the time to do so. The King of Water is multifaceted in meaning. He symbolizes an approaching time of peace and calm, where you will have time and space to simply be and grow. He also represents a need to let go of emotion-based gender bias and to embrace the awareness that this archaic paradigm belongs to the past. A man can be just as sensitive and vulnerable, nurturing and supportive as any woman. A woman can be just as closed off and insensitive as a man. God dang, that is true, boy. Both of those things are true, but like, dude, especially the women out here now, dude. Somebody was talking about that recently as well. There's just like this push for women to be more masculine, for women to be, harder. Like I've had multiple women talk to me about on dates, matter of fact, two separate women on two separate dates talk to me about how they're trying to embrace their femininity more. And a lot of women are fed up. Like they're at this point of like, to get respect in the field of their career or to get respect with their lover, meaning like their romantic partner, they have to step into this role of just being more in the divine masculine archetype. But it's really not even the divine masculine archetype. It's more of like the aggression and like the lack of vulnerability and the closed offness and all these ideologies we have surrounding manhood that have been passed down for generations. And you can't be soft and you can't show emotion and you can't do this and you can't do that type shit. A lot of women nowadays are like operating in that space. Yeah. And a lot of men are afraid to embrace their divine feminine side because we all have both in us. We both have divine masculine, divine feminine in us. A lot of men are afraid. Obviously, though, because it's like, as a man, with certain women that you're around, you can't show that emotional side. Because then they feel like, oh, you're soft, or they lose respect for you, or they'll go cheat on you with some other dude, you know what I'm saying? With some dude that treats them, who's an asshole to them. And there's actually, you'll hear some people say, oh, I'm attracted to, like, they're more attracted to asshole men. They want an asshole, you know what I'm saying? Like I acknowledged earlier, I mean, I have that side to me, but I don't like to operate as my primary energy being an asshole to people. It's just, in certain situations, it's necessary. However, there are some people that truly are like, it's weird to them if a man is not an asshole to them, or it's weird to them if a man does not cheat on them, or weird to them if a man treats them like, puts them on a pedestal or treats them like a queen type shit. It's weird. it's just like, nah, like I'm not used to this. Like they're used to fuckboys, essentially, or they're used to people that like walk that line between being emotionally vulnerable or not, you know. So again, this goes for both. I'm not into the whole gender war bullshit that goes on with like, you know, fuck dudes, fuck women, da 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 da. Like this whole we don't need each other bullshit. That's divide and conquer all the way. That's programming all the way to think that we don't need each other. But in any case, and all the in between people too. I know some people don't like the straight rigid man or woman titles and things, but again, I'm talking about from archetype perspective, not so much physical body parts and whatever. In any case, yes, a woman can be just as closed off and insensitive as a man. Both can be communicative with regards to their feelings, and both can be uncommunicative. Both sexes have the same qualities. How emotionally open or closed a person is has nothing to do with gender, and everything to do with the individual and their journey. And their journey. We have been conditioned to believe that men and women are emotionally different when they are, in truth, the same. As with the other court cards, the King of Water can also represent a person in your life who embodies the traits of the king. If you are in need of his counsel or safe harbor, seek him out at this time. Did we get this in reverse? No, we didn't. I'm going to read the blockage for this one, just to do it. We didn't get it in reverse, but just something to look out for. Potential blockage. When the King of Water appears reversed, he can represent a feeling of boredom. When he appears in your reading, ask yourself if you believe that your life is lacking excitement. Has peace and calm slowly transformed into boring routine? Maybe it is time to shake things up a little and to ride the waves for a while. You might need a little excitement and to be unpredictable and spontaneous. In your best interest, however, do seek a productive outlet for your excitement rather than looking for conflict or creating drama for drama's sake. That might destroy your peace and calm completely instead of enlivening your life. The King of Water reversed also cautions against behaviors born of jealousy and a need to possess. If you have fears or concerns regarding a relationship, address them. Do not allow jealousy to fester. If there is a reason for concern and the situation cannot be resolved, then perhaps it is best to let it go. Remember, the person in question is not a possession. Remember, the person in question is not a possession. Allow them to leave, if leaving is what they feel they must do, even if they leave in order to be with another. On the other hand, be mindful not to allow your own insecurity and imagination to drive a wedge between yourself and the one you love. That right there, too. You know, you become a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, sometimes they are doing shady shit or they're just acting. Something is off. And you might not know what that thing is, but you know something is off. And so that might make you a little paranoid and start accusing them or whatever it may be. But there are some times where, again, you're letting... I started the live with this about letting somebody from 3 decades ago or 3 years ago or 3 weeks, 3 months ago dictate your life. Maybe not 3 weeks. You need time to recover. But you're letting somebody from before, your last 3 relationships, dictate what you got going on now. So this person still has dominion and control over your life, and you're still not allowing your heart chakra to heal. You're still not allowing yourself to interact and be free and be vulnerable and connect with anybody because of something that happened 3 relationships ago or 2 or 1 or whatever. So yeah, sometimes it's you that's driving that wedge just off your own paranoia and things. All right, last 2 cards here. This next card here is 3 of Earth. Oh, boom. 4 of Earth there, 3 of Earth. Here we go. This is a shorter one, too. Keywords: ambition, sowing seeds, groundwork, energy investment, sacrifice, fertility, outcomes. Key phrases: time to make preparations, risking future goals and ambitions, investment, sacrifice, investment or sacrifice equals reward, a time of restriction or adversity, increased opportunity, people notice commitment and dedication, be sure of your motives, maintain intimacy and connection. So again, like all these cards are talking about really getting in tune with you and really getting to the bottoms or the depths of your mind. Like I'm kind of seeing like the outer part of the brain. It's actually interesting because right here is the amygdala, which, and then you got the hippocampus over here. So you're talking about emotional regulation, you're talking about memories, you're talking about a lot of how you react to situations. And the hippocampus can actually be damaged through trauma. Can absolutely be damaged through trauma. So that's another big thing to look out for as well. Because again, we're talking about emotion regulation. We're talking about memory centers and all of that. Yeah, so here and then here in the back is the amygdala. I ain't go to medical school and that shit like that. I just I don't know, I'm just interested in this stuff. I just learn things. Hey, 2 likes now. Shouts out to the people. All right, we moving up in the world. I didn't even like my own thing yet. So shouts out to y'all out there. Positive energy. Or whatever energy it is, but y'all resonating in some facet. All right, so meaning 3 of Earth, right? This is where we at. Oh, I didn't even show y'all the card. I'm slipping, baby. My other light went off, so whatever. You can kind of see it better now. Meaning, it was the red light, the root chakra light, actually, which was not planned, by the way. The three of Earth represents a time of preparation. I already said that. Whatever. It is time to sow the seeds born of thought, need, and desire in fertile soil, and do what is required in order to make those seeds grow. It is a time for you to do the necessary groundwork. Remember, the outcome can only be equal to the investment you are willing to make in the here and now. That's that personal accountability, dog. The 3 of Earth can also symbolize a time of sacrifice in the weeks and months ahead. There may be choices offered that appear as limitations or restrictions. While these choices might bring about feelings of reluctance, frustration, and annoyance, put them aside and focus on what the end result will bring. The future may also offer moments of adversity and hardship that make you want to give up. If you find your resolve challenged over the weeks and months ahead, know that all you hope to achieve is dependent upon your willingness to make a commitment now and then honor that commitment to the end. Do so knowing that it will be noticed and respected. It may even increase the opportunities that come your way. Whether it be further education, new work responsibilities, saving for a new home, or building a business, now is the time to look for realistic, rounded options and to then get in touch with those who have the knowledge and information you require in order to determine if your objectives can be achieved and the best course of action for you to take. The 3 of Earth asks, what are you willing to do now in order to achieve the outcome you desire? Boom. Write that down. Rewind this. Screen record this. I was going to say screenshot, but I mean, you can't screenshot words, right? The closed caption will never pick me up right, so whatever. Y'all get the point. What are you willing to do in order to achieve the outcome you desire? Just flat out. I'm not even going to read the potential block. We didn't get this in reverse at all. And that question is just too good. All right. The man, like I told y'all in the beginning, he's clearly tending to his garden. Like, the man is sitting here nurturing his stuff. And he was feeding a little squirrel in the process. So he's giving back to the earth and continuing the cycle of life. Just by taking care of himself. You understand? Alright, so this is the last card that is on the fence, I guess. I was kind of sort of told not to read it, but then I looked at it and it's just too beautiful to not acknowledge. But like I said, she's like elevating. It's like this light code type of light coming down, this beam of light coming down. She has her third eye open, but then she's like looking to the sky, like not really in a hopeful way. It's kind of like disdain on her face. So we're gonna see what this is about. This is that's the air symbol, right? Or no, this water. The 6 of water. 6 of water right here. So maybe this card is just for me and one other person. Who knows? Might not be for me at all. What am I talking about? But some of this reading though, for real, I definitely resonate. Like that last card, I really resonate with that. We got 2 water cards. And water has to do with emotions. And we talked about the moon earlier, right? The unconscious mind, the moon has to do with water as well. Controls the tides, does a whole lot of stuff. Where is this card? What's wrong with this damn dog, man? I already took him out. I think because he hear me talking. Alright, this is the last card, though. Right here. Let me see. Man, where is this at? 6 of fire. I don't want no 6 of fire. How did we pass the water? Okay, boom. We're out here struggling. No, we're not struggling. Don't use those type of words. Okay, 6 of water. Keywords: kindness, concern, sympathy, compassion, understanding, forgiveness, love, and ideals. That compassion is really sticking out to me, and I'm really thinking self-compassion. I ain't focused on everybody else outside right now. Don't even focus on everybody around you right now. Don't focus on everybody outside right now. That's outside. You don't need that right now. All this politics and all this stuff they got going on. This is like self-compassion, honestly. Keywords: the ideal of kindness and compassion. See all that is good and pure in humanity. Strive to be better. Embrace healthy boundaries. Accept that you will falter. Overcome obstacles with gentle determination. Do not meet aggression with aggression. Be kind and walk away. I don't know about all that, but we see. Sometimes it is better to de-escalate a situation, though. Because some people on their low vibes, they're on some fuck shit. So, I mean, sometimes you have to. You have to, sometimes. The best way to win a fight is to de-escalate the fight and then not get in the fight. And I say that because I will never forget that video. This happened, basically, long story short, this dude tried to fight me outside a bar. The next day I wake up, my dad sends me a video on WhatsApp. And it's a karate instructor. And he has a whole class. And he's telling them this story about how a friend of his went to a bar, got into a fight outside. He pushed the guy. The guy stumbled backwards, hit his head on a rock. The guy died. His friend ended up serving 6 years in jail for manslaughter. 6 years in prison, I'm sorry, not jail. 6 years in prison for manslaughter because he accidentally killed a man and he wasn't even the one that initiated the fight, mind you. The guy that fell and died is the one that was trying to fight him. So, yeah, I mean, there's multiple lessons and stories in that whole scenario, but essentially, you know, you gotta be careful about stuff like that, because now too he's got to live with that guilt inside himself. It's not just bad enough that he got sentenced for something that clearly was an accident or whatever, but he is now having to live with the fact that he took another man's life, right? So, just saying, sometimes, anyway, so in that video that my dad sent, it was like the story, and then he was like, the best way to stop a fight is to de-escalate the situation. So that's a little tidbit for anybody out there who struggles with hot tempers flaring and things. I have a temper, but I've learned how to rein that in, or to have it and put it towards like art or writing or screaming into a pillow or boxing or something like that, where I'm not harming. I never really harmed another with like physically, but like my words can build people up, they can tear people down. Absolutely. So in any case, let's get back to this though. The meaning. The Six of Water is the epitome of kindness and concern. She represents all that is good and pure within humanity and an ideal that many strive to meet. She is kind, but not to a fault. She displays concern and care, but does so with a level of emotional detachment. She is sympathetic, compassionate, and giving, but not to the extent that she leaves nothing for herself. That's a big one. She is understanding and aware that we all think, believe, and see life in a unique way, and that this determines how we behave and respond to others. She is forgiving, but forgives because she knows the act sets her free and enables her to move forward without being weighed down by past experiences. She is a gentle soul who overcomes all obstacles with a determination that is free of any aggression or intent to do harm. She is the peaceful warrior who wins all with a gentle touch or smile, a kind word, and a compassionate, generous nature. Does she represent an impossible ideal? Do you strive to be like her and find yourself incapable of behaving this way all the time? Sorry. The Six of Water comes to tell you to just be you. Show compassion. Be empathetic, understanding, and aware of all that makes us different. Be generous, but remember to keep healthy boundaries in place. Most importantly, be kind to yourself when you don't live up to your own, sometimes impossible ideals. To be the peaceful warrior, you have to be as kind and generous to yourself as you are to others. Potential blockage. The Six of Water reversed has a very simple message and meaning. It does not serve us well to give It does not serve us well to give in to the desire to inflict hurt just because we believe someone to be deserving of it. We may feel that we are justified, but what purpose does an act of spiteful retaliation serve but to make us less and perpetuate suffering? It can also be said that it makes us energetically the same as the person who harmed us. Therefore, the Six of Water comes to caution us against embracing pettiness and retaliation regardless of the circumstances. There's always a better option than an act of spite. Anger used in this manner is rarely beneficial for healing. Is rarely beneficial or healing. Instead, it perpetuates suffering. There are none who can remain untouched when cruelty is offered. Both the person who inflicts it and the person it is inflicted upon will be marked by it. If revenge is desired, the best revenge we can mete out to anyone who has hurt and upset us is to remain peaceful and emotionally detached. We can choose to be kind to ourselves, to end our suffering by walking away and investing our time and emotion in something more worthy. That part. Invest your time in something more worthy than these low vibrational ass people who trying to bring you down to their level and whatever else. And if you right now are in a place where you are that negative person, maybe take something from today's video and see if you can try to implement it or sit with it, write about it, share about it, make music about it, make art about it, take photography, take pictures of things that remind you about it, talk to a therapist about it, listen to YouTubers, not all the YouTubers, listen to YouTubers like me about it, genuine people like CLEO Raw that do readings and shit, like something. I mean, what is this now? 2 hours and 38 minutes and 52 seconds. So I'm sure there's got to be something that my vocal cords are hurting for you for. No, I'm not placing the blame on you. Honestly. No, I needed this too. But the point is, there's got to be something. Just 1, 2, 3. Please pick 3 things from today's video and try to implement them in your life. Take 3 things from today's video and share it with somebody else to help them out too, and you help me out too. Or you could just click the little thumbs up down there, the little subscribe button down there, and we'll help both of each other we will help both of each other. We will help both of us. We will help both of us simultaneously. Thank you for helping me. Thank you for being here. I do appreciate it. I honestly do. I'm not saying that because like I'm a monetized channel making money off you. I'm not at all. I just genuinely, there was a message, and I know I needed this message. I really do hope somebody else out there. I feel like there's other people out there that are going to come across this that need this. So, yes, trauma is very real. Again, your emotional pain is just as strong as your physical pain to your brain. There's actual pieces missing, like pieces that don't light up in people's brain that have had trauma. It's just, it takes a toll on you, mind, body, and soul. And the only thing you can do is push through. Well, that's not the only thing. I mean, you could sit there and sit in it, but honestly, that doesn't serve you, and it doesn't serve anybody outside of you. So, yeah, just find your outlet, or use your temporary coping skills until you can find better coping skills. So, yeah, that's what I got for y'all. And if this will focus back, actually, I guess I could have left it like that. You know what I mean? Kind of blur out. But I have an actual blur effect that I could use that for. Let's see here. Boom, boom.